What is the company? It is a Glen Afton. Is operated by a group of people who are volunteers, come together to rescue item of interest. What's the problem? The problem was they had the water has been found to have low pH as low as 3 to 4, and they want to upgrade it to be like 9 to 10 to be appropriate for locomotives. The first site visit was about getting in direct contact with the Glen Afton employees. Then the group members had a walk around the place to know where each item is and how many tanks and pumps. There were 5 tanks and 2 pumps. The second site visit was about taking the measurement, like heights and parameters, to know how to confirm the volume of tanks and figure out an available tanks volume. Then measure the distance between tanks and collect 2 samples from each tank to measure the pH and minerals. For the site visit, we told Glen Afton 1 week before to put buckets for rainwater. We want rainwater to compare it with other samples.
Hi, this is Ahmad. I'm going to continue with the map of the area. As she said, as Maida said before, we had the first site visit to just get to know the place. So this is a picture to make you guys know the place better. As you can see right there on the top, this is the red building. Beside it on the right, there's the biggest tank there, we call it tank A. And here in the long white one, there behind it, behind the trees, there is another tank. We call it the dirty tank, tank B. And on the top there, there's 2 tanks, the gray and the blue one. And they have a small baby black tank in the middle. They are the storage tanks. Beside the red building there's a pump to push the water from downhill to uphill. And for the other one, tank B, we have another pump to take it uphill. Also, they have another tank over here, which is not there in the Hyman queue because they just put last year and they didn't connect it yet. We'll go to the next slide. And this is our pictures. This is Amir, our supervisor. And this is the tank we talked about. This is the biggest tank they have, tank A. And that's the tank B that they have on the back. We assumed based on my observation that it might be just a contamination because of how it looks basically. And that's our first site visit. And this is the pump, pretty much old, but it's working. And we barely found out the values that was on the sticker by then. Next slide. Based on the second visit, we had some calculations done. We couldn't take the diameters because it's round. So we had the perimeters taken, we had the heights taken, and we got the diameters by dividing by pi, and having the height and the diameter, we'll be able to get the radius, volume, and liter. For some tanks, like tank A, we had it already written, between 5,000 liters. But for other tanks, it wasn't written. So we needed to get it out or figure it out ourselves. And for the galvanic pipe, which was the one that's getting the locomotive water outside, or giving us the locomotive water, that's the diameter, and that's the radius. We tried to do it on AutoCAD to make it more clear and more easy, but that distance was about 200 or 400 meters, and the diameter of the pipes was 0.3 meters. So we will barely see it. So we prefer to do just the map for now. Investigation. Now comes the nice one. We took the samples after climbing over those tanks. All the group members, we had a bucket, we threw the bucket inside, and then we pulled it with a rope. Some of it was in my clothes, and some of it was in the sample here. So we had each one of them. We asked Jack for a pH meter. We tried to just identify the problem or confirm the result that they gave us because they said it had 3 and 4. But as can we see, tank A had 4.89 pH and tank B had 6.5. The storage ones have 5.3 and 6.4. And the baby tank, which is very small, has 6.4. So it was about the influence of each tank, because tank A was the biggest one, 5,000 liters, but other ones was about 20 or 15 or even 5,000 liters. So the low pH here maybe is the reason why others are low, but we can't make sure of that until we get test the minerals or maybe get test another thing that we didn't have by then. Next slide. There comes our story, which we built based on the pH we got. We got Hamley Power Station, which is 14 kilometers away from Glenafton Curtin Railway. The burn of coal there causes a lot of CO2 emissions beside the sulfur that's burned, that comes out of burning coal. Agricultural emissions, as we know, it's a green area over there. The main agricultural emissions there are methane and H2O. Also have photosynthesis, which is naturally happening there, which is a source of emission of CO2. And Glenafton itself has drains which burns coal. And that exerts the same thing as Hamley Power Station. And here comes our assumption and our engineering imagination, which we learned here. The acidic rain is maybe starting to happen there or starting to develop over there, because all those stuff are contents or components that create acidic rain. The next slide. Then we got from Peter the calorimeter, which is the device that can give you the values for the minerals, because by then we saw that maybe some of the minerals are missing from the tank, so if we just add those minerals, everything will be fine. What does the calorimeter does? It just measures the absorbance of particle wavelengths of light by specific solution. The solution in this case was water, and we need to add some reagents to just test it. That's how it works. But for pH, we just needed to put the device itself and then as a blind, and then put the calibrate it, and then put another one with phenol red indicator, and then get the result. But we hope we don't need to do the mineral because we will need the further investigation. So why we didn't use it? It has some battery issues in the beginning. Number 9, number read button 0, and few numbers wasn't working. So we had run out of options whether this device works or we reach a dead end. So we've taken the rain sample that we got from Glenafton. We've been running through the FG link floor by floor, looking for any other pH device that would give us the result that we want. We found Carol in FE3. She gave us the pH device, next slide, which gave us the 6. That's almost acidic rain, because acidic rain is between 5 and 6 and all and below. So this is showing indication that our story is right. No, next slide. Okay, that's the story. That's only done to identify what the problem is. And the solution is as easy as just adding, it was adding soda ash to certain amounts in different periods when the tanks are full for the water. I looked up online for companies. It can be used the same as pool water. The pool, that was the same one. 100 New Zealand dollar will be cost for 10 kilograms for this one to increase the alkalinity by 1,250 ppm. But the alkalinity is the same, is kind of, when alkalinity increases, the pH increases at the same time, so it will raise it to 9. Now we go to the recommendation, which is why we can't be 100% sure of this one, because 9 or 8 pH would be perfect for the locomotive, but it's not gonna be drinkable. So our recommendation is a bitter solution where they can put a filtration system to just the locomotive pump itself or the commutation valve. So it just filters this water only or raises its pH. Because other than that, they can drink the water, but it only can use it for the locomotive. The next slide. That's it, everyone.